The scent of pancakes drifted through the house as the morning sun crept through the kitchen blinds. It was a quiet Sunday, one of those rare moments where time seemed to slow down and all the usual noise of life, emails, traffic, bills, faded into the background. Jessica Monroe stood at the stove, flipping pancakes and humming a tune from her teenage years. Her 9-year-old son, Ethan, sat at the table drawing in his sketchpad, tongue poking out in concentration. He had his father's artistic touch, that same quiet intensity when he was focused. It was both comforting and bittersweet. Jessica hadn't heard from Ethan's dad, Ryan, in nearly 6 months. The divorce had been finalized over a year ago, but the emotional mess had started long before the papers were signed. Ryan had drifted, slowly but surely, chasing career opportunities that always seemed to take him further from home, from responsibility, from them. "Mom." Ethan's voice broke through her thoughts. She turned. "Yeah, sweetheart." He hesitated, eyes still on his drawing. "There's a school trip coming up, a father-son camping weekend." Jessica froze. She knew about the trip. A flyer had come home last week. She had tossed it in the recycling bin without a second thought. "I was wondering," Ethan continued, "can I ask Dad to take me?" Jessica looked at him. He wasn't pleading, not yet. But his voice held something far more powerful, hope. She forced a smile. "Do you think he'll say yes?" Ethan finally looked up. "He might. I mean, if you say it's okay." There it was. That simple line that held the weight of their entire family's past. Later that day, Ethan disappeared into his room. Jessica walked quietly down the hall, pausing at his door. She heard him on a video call. "Dad, it's a camping trip. Just one weekend. Please. Mom said it's okay if you say yes." Silence. Then Ryan's voice, a little muffled but clear. "I'll think about it, buddy. I have meetings, but I'll check." Jessica's heart twisted. "I'll think about it" was Ryan's signature phrase. It was the same answer he had given for missed birthdays, skipped school plays, and the Christmas he never came home. She wanted to knock on the door, to tell Ethan not to get his hopes up. But something stopped her. Maybe it was the way his voice had trembled. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe it was love. But in that moment, she made a decision. If Ryan did say yes, she wouldn't stop it. 3 days later, Ryan actually followed through. Jessica received a text. "I cleared my weekend. I'll pick Ethan up Friday morning for the trip. Thanks for saying yes." It was short. No apology. No emotion. But it was something. That Friday morning, Jessica helped Ethan pack. Sleeping bag. Snacks. Extra socks. His favorite flashlight. He was glowing with excitement, bouncing around the living room. "Do you think he'll let me roast marshmallows?" Ethan asked, eyes sparkling. "I'm sure he will," Jessica replied, kneeling to zip up his backpack. "Just promise me one thing." "What?" "Take lots of pictures." Ethan grinned. "You got it, Mom." When Ryan's black SUV pulled into the driveway, Jessica felt her stomach flip. He looked different, cleaner, somehow. A little older. Maybe the months of distance had made him a stranger. Ryan stepped out and gave a stiff nod. "Morning." "Morning," she replied. They exchanged only a few words. Ryan barely looked her in the eyes, but he helped load Ethan's things into the car. Ethan hugged her tightly before climbing in. As they drove away, Jessica stood on the porch, heart full of emotions she couldn't name. Fear, hope, regret, relief. She didn't know which one would win. Ethan's call came on Sunday evening. "Mom, it was amazing." Jessica smiled. "Tell me everything." And he did, non-stop. They'd gone hiking, roasted hot dogs, built a fire, and Ryan had even helped Ethan carve his name into a tree stump. For the first time in over a year, Ethan spoke about his father with pride instead of disappointment. That night, Jessica cried. Not because she missed Ryan. That chapter was closed. But because her son had been given something she alone couldn't give, a real moment with his dad. Over the following weeks, things changed. Slowly, Ryan began calling more often. He started showing up, soccer games, school meetings, even casual afternoons at the park. It was awkward at first. Jessica kept her distance, unsure if this was real or just another short-lived effort. Then one day, Ryan asked to meet her for coffee. Just to talk, he said. At the cafe, he was different. Softer. He apologized, not just for what he did to her, but for what he hadn't done for Ethan. I let you both down, he said. That weekend, it reminded me of what I've been missing. Jessica listened, unsure if she believed him. But something in his eyes looked real. I'm not asking for anything, he added. I just want to try. Be better. For him. Ethan was thriving. His grades improved. He smiled more. He no longer waited by the phone for calls that didn't come, because now, the calls came. The visits were regular. Ryan wasn't perfect, far from it, but he was trying. One evening, Jessica found an old photo of their family before the split. She stared at it for a long time. Not with sadness, but with clarity. That life was gone, but something new had been born. And it all started with one sentence. A simple question from a 9-year-old boy. Can I ask Dad to take me? She could have said no. She had every reason to. But she didn't. Because sometimes, the greatest act of love is letting go of the past, for the sake of a child's future. And in the end, she was glad. She couldn't say no to her son's request.